Well, hello. Early June in my favorite garden, and the Devil's Walking Stick has put on a little bit of height. And as you can see, our chives are all starting to fill out and come into their show of purple blooms. This little Baptisia, one of our yellows, is just on the verge of opening. And you can see that the Solomon seal and the Nannyberry are just finishing. Lamiums are also just finishing, but they may have a second flush of color a little later on in the season. Our geraniums and columbine, this is the wild columbine, the Canadian one. And then the geraniums are still in bloom. As long as they're well watered, I usually end up with a fantastic length of time that they're in bloom, usually over a month. As you can see, some of these later blooming things are just getting started still. The poppies are just in bud. They usually come out at the same time as the peonies, but our peonies are a bit early. And the slope is looking pretty good. More of, oh, and this is one of our nice little native bumbles. Yeah, definitely out getting herself some yummies for breakfast. And the poppies are just on the verge. This beautiful, rather dark iris is Cherry Smoke. She's from the breeder in Oregon. Actually, Shriners has produced some really beautiful irises. And this is my roof iris with one of my fancy Ukrainian geraniums in front, and more spessark. You can see the iris on the far right with the white tops is Best Bet. And this is one of our Baptisias that are just coming out in yellow, one of the lemon varieties. The other showy alliums are starting to fill up in the middle. And this blue iris is Breakers. This Baptisia here is one of our bluish purple ones, but it comes out a little later than the other ones. And as you can see, our dianthus are very cheerful today, blooming for all they're worth. And this is another one of my favorites. It's a more modern iris. This is Harvest of Memories. And you can see the Baptisia behind just starting to come out. And our sea kale is still doing really, really well. Lots of blooms there. The dwarves are almost completely finished. And this is my absolute favorite peony. This is Molly. She was my mom's, and I still really miss my mom. So I'm happy to have her peonies at least. And this was one of her other peonies called the White Phoenix. I can't pronounce it very well in Chinese or Japanese. I can't really tell. I think it's a Chinese peony. And then these are some of my heritage varieties. I have a weakness for some of the really heritage variety irises, even though they have a tendency to be very weak stemmed. And this is an older variety as well that I call Rosemary's iris, because a very elderly woman named Rosemary gave it to me, and I have no idea what its name is. This is a beautiful little flowering shrub. This is the one I was talking about earlier, that I was moving to a sunnier location. And this is Coquetzia. And she's not putting on as big a bloom as she normally does, but that's just because she was recently moved. And this is one of my fancy yellow 9-barks, another native, North American native. And this is my all-time favorite iris. This is Crow's Feet. And oh my gosh, I love this one so much. Yeah, it's a stunner. And this is my Blenheim Royal, just about to come out, and my Sunset Sonata. And then the Best Bet, with some of the other deer villas up here on the upper slope. And this is one of my beardless irises. And it looks like my little clematis are really starting to go doing well. This is Mrs. Harvey. I started her 2 years ago from a little cutting. And she's looking pretty good, And yeah. And of course, coral bells. No garden would be complete without coral bells. And yeah, so here we are, some of my my favorite purples. And look at that, another black. And these are some of my fancy heritage ones right here. I have this one in memory of a really generous, sweet old lady who died of cancer, and actually had her irises in her will to give to me. It was so sweet of her. And this is my Scarlet Ito, which looks like she's still a week away from bloom. And as you can see, that little clematis is really going to town. And there we are. The back has started to fill in a bit. I obviously, oh, Prairie Moon looks like she's almost on the verge of blooming. Yeah, just got her buds out. And this is one of my favorite native plants, known as Virginia waterleaf. And I'm obviously going to have to do a little bit of work on this path and clear it out again, because those strawberries tend to be a little energetic, I would say. Always spreading everywhere. And the rhododendrons. Oh, and this peony looks like she was a surprise peony. Oh, looks like she's going to be a red. Yeah, one of the really old-fashioned ones. And the hascaps are obviously doing really well. Lots of fruit and yummies to come in the future. And then we definitely got to get these radishes harvested. They're a little past their prime, but I'm sure still quite delicious. And here we are. These are our blueberries, and we actually have blueberries. Very exciting. Very exciting for only a second-year plant. Yes, yes. Very exciting. And the lovage, of course. And this is my little pride and joy. A little native bladdernut, which I'm nursing along, and hopefully I'll end up with a nice full-size mama shrub that I'll be able to start taking cuttings from. And here's my mystery iris nursery, those irises that have lost their tags. And oh, I'm very, very happy to find this one here. I'll have to definitely check through my listings to find out who she is. I was hoping she would be lace jabot, but she doesn't have enough ruffles, and her beard is the wrong color, so I'll have to definitely go through my files to figure that one out. But as you can see, another lovely day in my favorite garden.